All right, let's get right into it. We're going to tackle a question that honestly sounds like it's pulled from a sci-fi movie, but it's becoming a very real thing in our lives. Can your feed actually read your mind?
You know the feeling, right? You're just scrolling, minding your own business, and then, bam, a recommendation pops up that is so ridiculously on point, it's spooky. It feels like the system somehow knew your next thought. It's that, whoa, moment that's kind of cool, but also a little bit creepy.
Well, it turns out that feeling actually has a scientific name. Researchers are calling it anticipatory coupling. It's the official term for when an algorithm isn't just reacting to you, but it seems to get out ahead of what you're about to want.
And this isn't just some abstract idea. Scientists are actually building a framework to measure it. It's called algorithmic phase locking, or APLI for short. And its whole purpose is to find a way to quantify that feeling, to put a number on the system being one step ahead of you.
So how in the world do you measure something that feels like a pull from the future? Okay, let's break down the mechanics of how they're trying to do this.
Everything hinges on this one little variable. It's a Greek letter called tau, and it simply measures the time difference, down to the millisecond, between when the algorithm shows you something and when you react to it. You know, by clicking, searching, or pausing.
So let's unpack what this tau value really means. If you have a positive lag, that's totally normal. You search for cat videos, and a few milliseconds later, the feed shows you cat videos. It's reacting. Simple. But a negative lag? Now that is where it gets weird. That means the feed shows you something before you've searched for it, and then you act on it. The system anticipates you. It shows you the thing, and then you realize, oh yeah, I did want that.
So this right here, tau being less than 0, this is the golden ticket. It's the mathematical signature they're hunting for. It's the hard data that could prove a system has crossed the line from just being reactive to being genuinely anticipatory.
And they're not messing around. They are looking for this signal with incredible precision, scanning a time window from 1 full second before you act to more than 3.5 seconds after. They're on the hunt for those super rare, tiny moments of negative lag.
Okay, but the skeptic in all of us has to be asking, wait a minute, is this a real phenomenon or is it just some kind of technical glitch? And you know what? The researchers are all over that question.
To make sure what they're seeing is the real deal, they've set up this super rigorous 10-day experiment. This isn't just about spotting something once, it's about building a solid, scientific case that this actually happens.
And the plan itself is pretty clever. They'll get a bunch of people who use these feeds every day, then for 10 straight days they record everything, all while tweaking privacy settings. They ask the users to flag those spooky aha moments when they happen. And then it's time to dive into that mountain of data and hunt for those negative tau events.
The main thing they expect to find, their core hypothesis, is that these mind-reading moments aren't just random. They think these events will pop up way more often when the algorithm knows a ton about you, meaning when personalization is cranked way up and your privacy settings are turned way down.
But still, you gotta wonder, how can they be absolutely sure it's not just a network delay or a caching bug or just pure dumb luck?
Now this part is awesome. They've built in a whole set of controls just to rule out technical errors. For things like caching, they use specific cache-busting tricks. For clock sync issues, they're syncing their servers daily to the nanosecond. But my favorite is how they rule out coincidence. They run something called a time reversal test. They literally analyze the data backwards. If the effect is real, it should completely vanish when you reverse time. It's just brilliant.
So, let's say they prove it. Let's say this is a real, measurable thing. Well, that suggests something really profound is happening here. It points to a whole new way of thinking about how we interact with technology.
The researchers put forward this theory that is genuinely mind-bending. They're suggesting that these moments aren't just the algorithm pushing stuff at you. Instead, it's something they call time-symmetric alignment.
Okay, let's translate that from science speak. What they're saying is that a possible future version of you, the you who's about to be interested in that thing, acts like a magnet. It's pulling both your present actions and the algorithm's recommendations into alignment to make that future more likely to happen. So, it's not a push from your past data, it's a pull from your potential future.
And this isn't just some philosophical hand-waving. This theory makes real, testable predictions. They propose looking for actual signals in the brain, like the P300 wave, which is a known marker for decision-making, and seeing if it peaks before a person even hits the enter key. They'll even analyze tiny subconscious movements of your mouse to see if they predict these moments.
All of this, of course, leads us to what might be the most important question in this entire discussion. What are the ethics of building systems that can do this?
Because think about it, if an algorithm can anticipate what we want and maybe even gently guide us there, the line between helpful suggestion and subtle manipulation gets really, really blurry. How do we make sure our own free will, our human agency, is protected?
The good news is the researchers are thinking about this too, and they propose some pretty clear safeguards. Things like putting hard limits or caps on how strongly the system can lock onto you, making it transparent with a "why did I see this" button. And of course, the big ones, giving us an easy way to opt out and protecting our privacy by processing data on our own devices.
Which leaves us with this final, massive question to chew on. As our tech gets better and better at not just reacting to us, but anticipating us, we have to ask, in this complicated dance between our own intentions and the algorithm's predictions, who's actually leading?